Hey yo guys, what's good, what's happening, and what's going on? I can tell you what's going on with me. I am super freaking tired today. So we're gonna do ourselves a favor and make ourselves a second coffee. I had a coffee at 7:30. Come on, Oreo, get going. Jesus, Murphy dog's always in the way. And we're gonna enjoy a second coffee for the day, because that first coffee, it hit well, but not well enough. And nothing hits better than a second coffee in the morning. Maybe even a third or a 15th. I don't know. I don't know what really to talk about today. We're expecting an ice storm, so they've gone ahead and shut down the buses for today so the kids don't have to go to school. Lucky little bastards. I still have to go to work, but luckily I work out of my house, so I don't have to go anywhere. Perfect. But yeah, last night getting to bed super late due to the fact that the vlog or this camera didn't record the audio, and having to reshoot that scene really didn't help things out one bit. Like 100% did not make things better. That's for sure. That was kind of crap that happened, but oh well, to be expected. The complications of being a YouTuber. Trust me, it is. Trying to think of something to do tonight, because I won't be working out. Mainly because I'm not eating today. Today is a day of not eating, and tomorrow is a day of eating. Now tomorrow, like I mentioned on a previous vlog, I'm going to be going to a restaurant. You ever try and eat keto at a restaurant? It's not exactly fun. It's kind of difficult. My main strat is, like, let's say you order a steak and it comes with potatoes and vegetables. You can sometimes say, can you hold the potato and give me double vegetables, or just give me more vegetables? And you can usually get around it there too. But here's the big problem with the vegetables they give. Usually it's like peas, corn, sometimes broccoli and carrots. They usually go for the cheaper vegetables. It's probably canned vegetables for all we know. They're steamed, not a bad deal. But the problem is carrots and corn are both super high in sugar. They don't do you any favors. So when you're in weight loss anyway, they do you favors for nutrition, but not really when you're keto, because the sugar will just take you right out of ketosis and spike your insulin. You will go back into ketosis about an hour or two after, once you burn all those carbohydrates off and the insulin calms down. So it's kind of a rough thing. Now luckily the place we're going to is known for wings, and you can get them either breaded or unbreaded. So I can just order 3 pounds of unbreaded wings and pitter patter have at her. And that's probably what I'm gonna freaking do, because honestly, I don't know what else to do. I really don't. I honestly don't. And then I got to thinking, I've been making a lot of progress. Probably doesn't show on me, but that's okay. When we got back from the cottage 2 weekends ago, it's been about 10 days since I've been back. I went from 259 pounds and I'm down to 249, so that's 10 days, 10 pounds. I'm liking this progress. I need to lose the weight because summer's coming, lawn mowing season's coming. It's a lot of walking in the backyard with that little mower to chop the grass. And I don't want to have to stop halfway through chopping just to realign my spine. So I need to drop some serious front weight. Obviously, belly fat for guys is the worst. It's the hardest thing to get rid of. So that's why I've been going back to the keto lifestyle, because before I wasn't quite doing keto. I would do keto for like 4 or 5 days and then just get completely derailed and then get back on it for 4 or 5 days. Kind of reminds me of Zach Fowler, and that's literally what he does too. He's been doing keto and then he falls off of it and he gains a bunch of weight back, and then he goes back on it and he loses a bunch of weight, and then he's been teeter-tottering because he's not sticking to it. And I don't want to be like that. I kind of want to jump on board and go full tilt like a Peterbilt, which makes it rough when you get these like celebrations, for instance, like retirement parties and that. They want to do them in a bar or in a pub, a place that serves food that is not exactly ketogenic, and they want to, well, there's going to be drinks, but I'm going to avoid that because I'm driving. So it's going to make things a little difficult, and it always does. It's like when you go to a wedding and it's not a buffet and they just serve you a pre-plated plate, but you have a specific diet plan that you want to follow. So you really just eat like the meat and you pick through the veg, just grabbing the ones that are okay, and you end up leaving a half a plate of food because the rest of the stuff won't do you any favors. It's not fun. Like, that's one problem with keto. And like my boss told me, like, 'cause he's the one who told me all about the keto, my old boss. He was like, just eat the food. It's just one day. Just eat the food. But I have a goal to hit, and I'm setting the goal for fishing day, May 21st. I want to be back down to at least 220 pounds by then. So I'm at 249 now, which means all I have is 19 pounds to burn. And I know it doesn't sound like much at the rate that I can burn fat through exercise and fasting and all my other tools, but that doesn't mean I want to go out and just destroy myself and gain all sorts of weight. I want to keep working at this and maybe go beyond my goal. It would be nice if this thing down here didn't stick out so damn much and didn't hang over my jeans. So that's where the fasting is coming in, the everyday eating. Even though everybody I talked to about everyday eating all said the same thing, there's no way you can screw it up. Well, yes, there is a way you can screw it up. Go have sushi. All you can eat sushi. Remember the one time Rex and I went for all you can eat sushi, and I literally ate so much sushi that I gained 11 pounds. That's insane. Anyway, I got my coffee here. I'm gonna head her back upstairs, and we're going to get back to work. 3 more days and I'm done working from home and I'm back in the office full time. Here's hoping it's not whack. I heard they got rid of all of our monitors. People took them home and stuff. And apparently now we have monitors from like 2000. They're tiny little square 4x3 monitors. So that's gonna suck. Anyway, talk to you guys on my lunch. Oh, hey guys. Hopefully the audio is working. And of course, because I don't want to risk it for a biscuit, I just checked and it is. So good stuff, good enough. Rough, bow wow. Go downstairs, unless you're purposely blocking me because you took a big dump down here and you don't want me to see it. All right, good dog. I'm gonna let Oreo out because it's currently 12:45 and it's been crazy. Let's slap on the Crocs and go check the mail. Apparently people have been getting their sticker paychecks, and seeing how I bought 2 stickers, one for the Trans Am and one for the truck, it'd be nice to know. No, nothing yet. See people down south who have one vehicle, they pay 120 bucks a year. People north only pay 60. So I was just wondering if maybe some money would be sitting in my bank. Mailbox money, if you will, to buy some gasoline. Find it funny though that the US government's going to be handing out a $300 a month stimulus check to help offset the price of gas. And I know for myself, 300 bucks a month is pretty much a month's worth of gasoline, and I could totally go for that. Like if the Canadian government decided to follow suit and do the same thing, give us some sort of a we're sorry credit. But Canadian government's also heavily opposed to gas vehicles and issued a statement stating that by 2034 we're going to be going full electric, no more gas in Canada. So right now, to charge an EV, my buddy has a Tesla, and he said that he can get about 600 kilometers ish to a full battery on his Tesla, and he'll plug it in at night in his garage, and then in the morning she's fully charged. So he'll only charge it like once a week. In the winter he was charging it twice, sometimes 3 times a week, because winter your batteries don't last as long, because well, cold weather destabilizes lithium ion. It's a known fact. So he said that in the winter his electricity bill was a little bit higher than in the summer. However, it's not that bad yet. Just you wait until everybody gets an EV and the cost of electricity decides to skyrocket, because now people depend on electricity a lot more to get to work, to basically get around, to do everything. So you can bet that because the demand's higher, the cost will be higher, or there's going to be a tax put on it from the government, because they're going to lose a lot of gas taxes. Like right now, I know in Ontario, the tax they make on gas is what they use for road repairs. So if everybody's forced to switch to EV, that's a lot of money that they're not getting now from that tax, because nobody's buying gas because it's outlawed, right? So they got to recoup it somehow. So how are they going to do it? Well, they're going to put a hydro tax on, or a power tax, or electricity tax. And that's not going to be awesome, because electricity, at least I know in Ontario, is already pretty high, especially with the federal government's carbon tax implementation. So the cost for natural gas and hydro are getting dinged from this stupid carbon tax, and it's not doing us any favors up here in the Great White North. So if they introduce an electricity tax, because wasn't it California that had to do rolling blackouts because of everybody charging their EVs? It was putting too much strain on the system. I don't know. All I know is something's got to give. People got to quit friggin' penny pinching and charging us all sorts of extra money just to try and make more money than they did last year, because this is getting out of hand. Now, one cool thing I saw was a company out in Sweden was actually working on some new photocell technology. Like you have your regular photocells now, like your solar panels, but this stuff was a photocell paint, which was kind of neat, where you can literally spackle it to the side of a building and turn that entire building into a giant friggin' solar generator. And the overall efficiency of this product right now is 10 times more efficient than regular photocells. Like they had some tiny little ones and they're comparing them to like the ones you can buy off of electronic stores, and they were producing way more power, way more watts than what the generic, your basic photocell was. You can also print them on a thinner wafer. Therefore, if you needed to make like photo panels, like solar panels, you can make them thinner so they're not as heavy, so you don't need as much structure to hold them off the ground. And they're also, like a regular photocell is about 20 to 30% efficient, where this thing here was pulling 80 to 90% efficiency, which is very, very impressive for what it was. So what's nice about the idea of painting it on is, imagine having like a Tesla, and then you basically paint the photocell technology onto it. And as long as it's sunny out, and there's, unlike up in the north where our cars get covered in snow, you'd have to go out and clean it all the time. But imagine like it's sunny out and your car's charging on its own. You'd never have to plug it in. You'd always have a full tank, unless you do all your driving at night, or you live in like the great white north, where sometimes you could have 30 days a night. Then you would have a fully stocked, charged EV ready to rock. That's the future I want to see. A future where you have a vehicle that's fast, where you can get around from point A to point B, where you don't need to bring it in for servicing to get simple things done like oil changes. Obviously brakes will have to be done, unless they come up with a new technology for brakes where it basically uses some sort of a motor, like a geared motor, that will force it to stop, and it generates power and it throws it back into the battery or something like that. Some sort of a magnetic braking system. That'd be all right. And the only time you need to get it serviced is if you need to replace the tires, but there's a company working on tire technology that's going to be pretty sweet too. So we're going in the right direction for transport. We still need to upgrade battery technology. There was a company working on solid state batteries. They kind of fell off the radar. I don't know if they were just talking out their ass and the technology wasn't there. I know they had a GoFundMe up. I never GoFunded them because I never do that. I'm like, if your technology is that good, how come big corporations aren't funding you? Like honestly, like this solar company, they actually have some big tech companies backing them because they proved results, and these companies want to see this happen. You could take a cell phone, paint the back of it with the solar paint, and if you're like at the beach or something, or you're out even driving in your car and you need to charge your phone, you could just flip it over on your dash, put the screen down, and let it hit the sun, and within an hour you'd be at 90%. So the technology is brilliant. I want to see us progress further in power generation, because imagine if they were to paint houses with this solar cell technology. We wouldn't have all these damn wires flying through the air. You know, it'd be awesome. Like even if like you could get small ones to attach to a camera to power your camera solar. Like I'm just thinking for my own personal use. Like if I had a solar panel, like even a solar backpack, and I could plug it into this camera and not have to worry about battery packs just to generate some power to it, have a regulator on board and stuff. That'd be kind of cool. Everything, like, this technology is going to open up some new windows, and I'm super stoked for it. Like, even an e-bike, like, I want to convert Fatty into an e-bike this summer, and to do that, you got to basically run a big heavy battery pack. It'd be kind of cool if you could run a light photocell and draw power from that for power assist. You still need a battery compartment, obviously, but you wouldn't need as big of a battery, because if you drained it, the photocell could charge it back up. And with the bike on pedal assist, you're not constantly drawing from the battery. You'd be constantly drawing from, well, you'd basically be drawing from the battery on tough climbs. But when going downhill or on a regular pace, you wouldn't need the battery to kick in to assist you in your pedaling, because you'd be able to do that all on your own. It's when you find a hill climb, that's when the battery boost will kick in and give you a bit of assistance getting up that hill. And with the solar charger, it would reduce the weight of the bike, because the heaviest component on there would be the lithium polymer batteries sitting in the tray. I don't know, man. Like, this opens up a whole new level of opportunities. Smaller photocells that produce as much as the really big ones do. Yeah, I like where that's going. But even if you were to, like, put all that on the roof of your house, you could power your entire house. You need obviously a battery storage, because the sun doesn't stay up all the time, right? And winter would be kind of a pain in the ass with the snow. So even if you put them on the side of your house where the snow doesn't stick, and you have them getting blasted by the sunlight during the day, and you had some sort of a storage compartment in your house, like I don't know, Tesla makes that power wall. And I'm sure when the technology gets out there, other companies are going to make the same damn thing. So you'd have a storage compartment in your house for all your watts. And then during the day, you'd be charging the battery and running off of that. And then at night, you'd be running off of that. Now, the average person isn't up all night. And if they are, they're probably working, not at home. Unless it's a pandemic, then you're working at home. If you're at work all day, your house is charging. At night, you're usually up till about 9, 10 o'clock, and then you go to bed. Unless you have insomnia, then you're up till 3 o'clock. Even then, sun in the summer goes down at around between, I'm going to say in the spring. So by around 7:30 to 9:30-ish is usually the sundown for the summer until solstice, and then she reverts back. So with that means you wouldn't be drawing off the battery for too long. You'd have to remember to turn off lights in your house so that you're not just putting a parasitic drain on a battery to light up a room you're not in, but it would be an awesome thing to have. It would be pretty sweet in my mind to have this house that can power itself, and you don't need to pay a company every month to keep the hydro on because it does it on its own. Or even if you had like a camper, you wouldn't need electricity. You could actually do off-grid. I thought about this technology for when I want to build my overlander setup on the truck. It's like if I painted the top of the, or if I put the solar on the top of the cap, or even on the roof of the truck, whatever, it could generally power like a battery in the back. I could put one of those, what do you call them? The Jackeries or the EcoFlows. Put one of those in the back of the truck, and I have power on demand back there where you can run something. Like if you wanted to set up a real bougie setup, you can go out and get an air fryer and have an air fryer in the back of your truck so that you can go camping at that point there, if you go glamping. Or you can run a small air conditioner in the back of the truck for the summer months, or even an electric heater in the winter months, just to keep the cab warm if you do winter camping. I've never done winter camping. I don't think I ever want to do winter camping. I don't think winter camping is something I really am interested in. Gonna be honest here. Not exactly strong on the forte meter. I would like to do a bike camp one day, but I gotta get used to camping. And if I do that, I gotta find somewhere to put the puppy, because I could not take him bike camping. He looks so mad again. Why are you so mad? What is your major malfunction, numbnuts? I know what'll make him happy. I know what would make him happy. A piece of turkey jerky. Look at him. Now he's happy. You want turkey jerky? You want that? You want that? You want that? There you go. She wants some of her snackos now. Where the hell are her snackos? Let me get some Scamper snackos here. Scamper snackos! It's so hard to pour these out of the jar too because she headbutts them. Oh, she's not doing it this time. There you go, dude. Have some cookies. Eat your cookies. Eat your cookies. Seriously, eat your cookies. Like them not. Go eat them. Oh, whatever. You give the dog a cookie, cat's like, where's my cookies? You give the cat cookies, I don't want cookies. Can't win, man. Can't win. Just can't win. Like, never. So in the comments down below, let me know what you think about this new photo cell. I wish I could find the link for it, because I'd post it down below and let you guys check it out for yourself and see if you think it's fake or real. It looks pretty good. Like, the tests they show on the video look pretty good. And it looks like pretty promising technology. I just hope it doesn't gets picked up by some major corporation. They buy these guys out and they end up charging an arm and a leg for it, because the group that's actually doing it are big time into helping out the planet versus helping out their pocketbooks. And we need more people like that versus people who are more into helping out their pocketbooks. Because in the end, we all got to live on this rock, and the better we make it, the better it's going to be. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. On a side note, I found another project that I want to do. You guys remember back in the day, I did a skit called Mr. Airsoft Ponage, where I dress up in a military hat and a skull mask and I shot inanimate objects with plastic BBs. Well, those airsoft guns, the reason why we canceled Mr. Airsoft Ponage, there's two reasons. Number one, all the videos got deemed not suited for YouTube because of firearm use. And the second reason being is the airsoft guns, the only one I had left working was the Steyr AUG. And the Steyr AUG, the battery would literally only hold the charge for maybe 45 seconds of fire, and then she's done. And that shouldn't be the case. And the reason being is because they're nickel cadmium batteries, nickel metal hydride batteries. Sorry, not nickel cadmium. Nickel metal hydride batteries, and they're not that great. Now, I went on Amazon and I found out they do sell airsoft lithium polymer batteries, which have way more storage, same amount of voltage, and no memory effect. I don't have a charger for them. I have to get a charger for them. They also sell all the parts to rebuild the airsoft guns. Now, the M4A1, it failed due to a failure on the inside on the action, and you can buy a whole brand new action off of Amazon for dirt cheap. So something I'm thinking about doing is rebuilding those. Now, here's the thing though, with rebuilding them, I can't really shoot them anywhere. Like, I can't take it in my backyard and start unloading on some stuff, because if anybody sees me firing those guns off, they're gonna think they're real, because number one, they don't have the orange tip, and number two, they look like the real deal. So I'm gonna fix them up, but I won't be able to really use them unless I go somewhere where I can actually use them. But they're fully automatic, and I can't really say go watch the Mr. Airsoft Ponage videos, because I'm pretty sure they don't exist on YouTube anymore. I'm pretty sure that channel got taken down due to content being not suited for YouTube, even though I was firing plastic BBs at a freaking inanimate objects. I remember the Christmas episode I did where I unloaded a whole bunch of plastic BBs into like Christmas balls and a Christmas tree, and I had the backdrop wrapping papered, and that was a fun video. And then I did a couple where I just went to the thrift store, not the thrift store, I went to the Rebuilt Resources, like a secondhand store, if you will. And I bought some stuff like some glasses, and I bought 2 wine glasses, and I didn't have wine, so I ended up using grape juice, and I just put that in there. And then I shot the shit out of them. We shot a beer bottle, that got destroyed. We shot I think I shot some fruit out. Oh, I shot a pumpkin. I remember that, the pumpkin. Destroyed that. I shot the gingerbread house that we had. I made a video a long time ago of me building one of those Walmart gingerbread houses. Yeah, we just had fun out there. We'd go out in the garage. I'd set up that red toolbox with a backdrop, and then we'd just set up inanimate objects and just lay waste to them. And it was a good time. But the M16, or the M4A1, the M16, I got to rebuild that one too, because that one there was given to me taken apart because the action was shot on it. See, what happened was, back in the day, my buddy Chuck needed a new vehicle because his Acura didn't have a floor in it anymore. He had an Acura Integra, first generation. It was the one with not the circled headlights. It had the square headlights. Anyway, the floor on it was literally gone. And he was on the hunt for a new vehicle. And I had my Ford, I just bought my G6, so I was trying to sell my Ford Focus. I was asking $1,500 for it on Kijiji. And he said, how about I give you $1,000 in these airsoft guns? And I said, done. Because everybody who came over all wanted to test drive it, and you know what? I let one guy test drive it, and he didn't know how to drive 5-speed, and he stalled it like 5 times leaving my driveway. And I'm like, yeah, you're done with your test drive, bud. Learn how to drive 5-speed. Like, if you're interested in buying it, I'll sell it to you, but once you buy it, it's yours. But you're not learning how to drive manual on my freaking car and wreck my clutch. Like, come on, pull up. So then I sold it to Chuck. He drove the living shit out of that car. My God. He put almost 1 million kilometers on it before it finally got pulled off the road because it was literally being held together with rivets and tin painted the forest green of the car. So when the MTO saw that, they're like, yeah, we're pulling your plates. Yeah, this car is going into the condemners. It's shot, it's garbage. Send it back. But yeah, he put a lot of mileage on that because he used to drive from North Bay to Alberta. He worked out of Fort McMurray, and he would do that rip all the time. So he put a lot of kilometers on that old girl. And as far as mechanical went, she was fine. As far as body work went, not so much. So yeah, that's a project I want to do. I want to try and get those airsoft guns back up and running. If I don't use them, I'll sell them. I know because of the full metal, they're not the plastic kind. And because they're the Tokyo Marui or whatever, I know they got a lot of value. You can't buy them like that anymore. They're literally antiques. So I know I can get a good price for them. Not that I need to sell them to make the money, but why hang on to them if I can't use them? Or I hang on to them because they're awesome and one day I use them. I don't know. Like there's airsoft fields around here that may let me use them on there. I just got to make sure that they check out. I also have a gas blowback Beretta pistol that has a 20 round clip, so you can put 20 BBs in it, and when you pull the trigger, the whole action shifts back and recocks the hammer for you. Kind of a cool gun, but it runs on green gas. Now, apparently those propane tanks that I use in my Mr. Big Buddy heater there, you can buy an adapter for them that will allow you to use silicone oil or something like that. You squirt the silicone oil into it, and then you can actually blast propane directly into the tank, and it works the same. It's just pressurized gas. There's no ignition. You won't be shooting fireballs out of the end unless you like light a lighter. But guess what? Green gas is literally that. It's compressed propane with silicone oil into it. So same, somebody figured it out. They figured out the recipe, and they went ahead and made an adapter, and it's for sale on Amazon. So to get that Beretta back up and running, I got to take it all apart, got to clean it up, got to oil it up because the slide's not sliding as well as I wished it was. But other than that, everything else should be good. So it's not hard to disassemble that. Literally, it takes apart like a real Beretta. So if you're taking down a real Beretta, this thing here ain't no different. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And you're probably saying, Adam, when the hell did you take down a real Beretta? You know what? Don't worry about my past. It's none of your business, all right? Just don't worry about that. Figure I'd get these airsoft rifles and guns all back up to par and make them look, well, they look great. It's just they don't shoot because there's no batteries, and 2 of them have broken actions, the M4A1 and the M16. But if I can get them back up and running, that would be friggin' awesome because they're always fun to play with. I want to shoot anybody with them after seeing the BBs go through beer bottles because you'd probably break flesh on that, but hey, it is what it is. So fun freaking times, boys. So anyway, for today, I have no idea what the hell is going on. I'm probably not doing much. Right now, I'm having a battle with a computer, trying to get the damn thing to re-image, and it's fighting me at every turn. So that's what I'm planning on doing until I get off work. And then go from there. Like I say, tomorrow we got that dinner, but I don't know. I may back out. I may not go because I don't know. I really don't feel like going. I just don't feel like spending money. Like that's the thing. Like literally sat there today looking at 3D printers going, man, I'm really upset that the Ender Pro isn't in, the Ender Pro 3 isn't in there. But then I read the reviews and there's a lot of people bitching, and they're bitching about the fact that they got a defective unit. And there's a lot of people bitching about the fact they got a defective unit, and I'm just like, maybe I'll just play this smart. Maybe I'll wait. I'll wait for a bit until like a real good deal comes up, and then I'll jump on it. But then I got looking at that Voxel Lab one, or whatever it was called, the one that somebody mentioned on here, the one that's the Ender clone, and only one person bitched and moaned and complained, And it was because they expected the thing to print mint out of the box, and they never do. You gotta do tweaking. You can't just pull the printer out of the box, assemble it, and expect it to print the perfect thing right away. It makes a mess the first time around. You gotta do a lot of tweaking and modifying, because they literally just put the parts together and go. One guy complained that the filament was getting stuck, and after taking apart the extruder, he realized that they didn't tighten it all the way down, so he tightened everything back up and then it was working fine. To be expected. It's being assembled in China, shipped overseas. They're not going all the way in, they're just getting the job done. So all of it makes sense, makes perfect sense to me, but I'm just not sure if I want to jump on board yet. Like, I don't really need to print bait molds. All I really need is a cast for a swim bait and a cast for a Senko worm and some plastisol, some colors, and some ideas. I got some ideas for making baits using different things to color it, and I want to give it a try. Like, everybody knows you can catch a catfish on Kool-Aid, and everybody knows Kool-Aid will stand the shit out of things. So why can't I add a pack of Kool-Aid to plastisol, which will give it the flavor and the look, sail that out and catch catfish? Just putting it out there. It could work. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, click that like button. Any questions, comments, concerns, down below they go. I promise you, when the weather gets better, I'll quit doing these pacing around the kitchens talking to you guys videos. But for now, the weather outside sucks and I got nothing better to do. So that's why you're getting this kind of content. I do apologize. I know it sucks, but one day it won't. So stay tuned. Until next time, guys, live it to win it, and peace the frig out. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.